Good morning. Oh, hey, now it's on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke. We're doing things a little different today. So if it's your first time, this is not typical. But welcome. This is kind of an exciting opportunity, and this is going to start any minute now. This is the Sunday of General Assembly, the annual meeting of the Unitarian Universalist Association. It is fully virtual this year. There are some satellite locations where people are gathering in person. And this worship that we're about to watch, along with Unitarian Universalist churches, congregations, and communities across the nation, and in some cases the world, we're going to watch the same worship together, which is being broadcast live from Louisville, Kentucky. So these big worships are pretty exciting. So we'll have Betsy turn on the actual sound from the live stream, and we'll guide you through this. Coffee and snacks are available right now during the worship. This worship is scheduled to be 90 minutes long, so hang in there, and if you can't make it, thank you anyway for being here.
Good morning. Happy Sunday and happy last day of GA. My name is Ann Verdine Jones, and I am the Accessibility and Inclusion Team Lead. I am a brown-skinned African-American female with very short red hair. I am wearing a white shirt with lots of sparkles, blue eyeglasses, and a very bold silver necklace. I bring you greetings on behalf of the care teams. Yesterday, there were several technical issues regarding the lack of captions, sound, and accessibility concerns. We hear you. We have gathered as a collective to address those concerns. The reality is that we should have stopped the stream the minute missing captions and ASL were discovered, and yet we did not. This was an error on our part, for which we apologize and commit to being more mindful about the future. While communications and action steps will be disseminated via email later today, the care teams want you to know and feel that you have been heard. And we appreciate your voice, your heart and passion, and care for our beloved community.
And good morning as well. My name is Kim Diana Connolly. I'm a white upper middle-aged woman with bleached blonde hair, and I am wearing a red shirt that says love is an action word. I use she, they pronouns, and I am wearing glasses. I join Anne on behalf of all the members of the care team, including my co-lead, the wonderful Reverend Christina Spaude. We are so grateful for how all of you and all of you online and all of you watching later have appeared with us this week. We're deeply appreciative for those who vulnerably shared direct experiences and helpful thoughts through tickets, in person, via live stream chats, offering ideas about our beautiful and perfectly imperfect GA community. We'll be interweaving your insights to evolve and transform, because ours is a living faith called forward to create ever-widening circles of inclusion and care. We have to remember that nothing will ever be flawless, but sometimes our interweaving creative ways through the flaws offers new magic in the future. So please be sure to complete your feedback survey or reach out with specific tickets to the care team and let us know how to contribute your collective ideas to future gatherings of our General Assemblies. From the care team's blessing to all as we journey back to our separate lives, still connected in our hearts by the wonder of being together everywhere, meeting the moment.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome to our last day of GA. I am Gabe Barbieri. I am wearing a blue and beige shirt with pink pants, and I heard that I look stylish today. Let's rise in body or spirit and sing together, I Choose Love. In the midst of pain, I choose love. In the midst of pain, I choose love. In the midst of pain, sorrow falling down like rain, I wait the sun again. I choose love. I choose love. In the midst of war, I choose peace. In the midst of war, I choose peace. In the midst of war, hate and anger keeping score, I will seek the good once more. I choose peace. I choose peace. When my world falls down, I will rise.
We need more volume on this. It's way too low energy.
I will
Put more
rise. When my world falls down, explanations can be found. I will climb to holy ground. I will rise. I will rise. In the midst of pain, I choose love. In the midst of pain, I choose love. In the midst of pain, sorrow follow down like rain. I will wait the sun again. I choose love. I choose love.
Good Sunday morning, my friends. My name is Jen Youngsun Rue, and I use she and her pronouns. I'm a senior Asian woman with long graying hair, wearing glasses, and a purple and yellow stole over a white robe. The worship team is here in Louisville, Kentucky, on the lands of the Shawnee, the Cherokee, Chickasaw peoples. our nation's policies led to systemic genocide and forced relocation, which still negatively impact Indigenous communities today. Wherever you are this morning, I hope you'll take a moment to acknowledge the land on which you live. And together, may we pledge to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. During Friday's worship service, we gathered waters from the four corners of the earth. The earth sings many songs, and one of the most powerful is her song of water. And so we call those waters to bless this morning's circle. Here are the waters that our ancestors carried to nourish their villages. Here are the waters of recreation that revive and restore body and mind. Here are the waters of our tears, shed in grief, in anger, and in joy. Here are the waters of healing that spring from beloved communities. Come, let us choose love today and every day. Come, let us worship together.
I am David Oakes. My pronouns are he, him. If you need a visual description, I am a white elder quadriplegic using a power wheelchair, and both my hair and beard are white. I have been a psychiatric survivor activist for 50 years. I co-chair the Accessibility Task Force in our church in Eugene. The General Assembly started this service with the gathering of waters from all corners of earth. We light this chalice now, recalling the late author Bell Hooks, whose work was foundational to the modern concept of intersectionality. We light this chalice at the intersection of environmental and disability justice. We light this chalice with respect for the interdependent web of earth and all existence, of which we are a part. We light this chalice acknowledging that one of the principles of disability justice is also interdependence. We light this chalice in solidarity with the movement led by people with lived experience of being regarded as disabled. We light this chalice as revolutionaries who are on the side of love. We revolutionaries may feel alone at times. We light this chalice remembering Bell Hooks' words, those of us who have already chosen to embrace a love ethic. Know that when we let our light shine, we draw to us and are drawn to other bearers of light. We are not alone.
Let's rise in body or spirit one more time and sing We Are, which is our number 1051 of our Teal hymnal. Child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe. Who we are. For a child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe. Who we are. For a child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe. Who we are. For a child that's born, a morning star rises
prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are our breath of our ancestors. We are the spirit of love. We are brothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of trust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are a breath of our ancestors. We are the spirit of. We are daughters of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace. We are reason of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are a breath of our ancestors. We are the spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe. One more time. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Last night, I dreamed 10,000 grandmothers from 1,200 corners of the earth walked out into the gap, one breath deep between the bullet and the flesh, between the bomb and the family. They told me we cannot wait for governments. There are no peacekeepers boarding planes. There are no leaders who dare to say every life is precious, so it will have to be us. They said we will cup our hands around each heart, and we will sing the earth's song, the song of water. A song so beautiful that vengeance will turn to weeping. The mourners will embrace, and grief replace every impulse towards harm. 10,000 is not enough, they said. So we've sent this dream, like a flock of doves into the sleep of the world. Wake up. Put on your shoes, you who are reading this. I am bringing bandages and a bag of scented guavas from my trees. I think I remember the tune. Meet me at the corner. Let's go.
Thank you, Grayson. Last night, somewhere between the end of all we know and the faint beginning of something new, a dream emerged. 10,000 ancestors from all corners of the earth moved into a gap, one breath deep, into the space between all that has already happened and all that is yet to come. They carry songs, they carry stories, and they are calling us to join them. These rich images come from Aurora Levins Morales, a Puerto Rican Jewish poet and activist. In those days, immediately following the October 7th attack in Israel, Morales struggled to find a way through the atrocity to something human. The poet gives us a summons to show up at the corner. But first, she invites us into a gap, one breath deep. Here, the ancestors cup their hands around our hearts. Here, is blessing. Here is healing. Here is transformation. Here is worship. For many people living in the United States, these past several years have left us profoundly and deeply unsettled. We have been feeling the meanness of the world in genocide and in warfare, in the hoarding of resources that leaves millions without basic human needs, in policy changes that say some lives are more precious than others. The ground is shaking and it feels like everyone is on edge. The world that we thought we knew doesn't exist anymore, not in the same way. The Turkish journalist Ece Tamil writes about the decline of democracy, and she says that we are grieving in future tense. We're grieving in future tense, grieving what has already been slipping away, even before it's gone, grieving what has already been lost and what may yet be taken. Some of this grief may be new for people who have not had to name this before. The structures of white supremacy have remained well hidden in the background of life, quietly shaping what was accepted as normal, natural, or simply the way things are. But now, what has been hidden is becoming harder to ignore, and more people are waking up to the urgency of this moment, rousing them from what the poet calls the sleep of the world. Now, I know that many of you are already awake. You are doing everything that you can to proclaim every life precious, everyone deserving a chance to live fully and freely. Unitarian Universalists have long been a people of action. We know how to organize, we know how to show up. We are practiced in the art of doing. And if we're honest, that strength carries a shadow. Our religious tradition has been shaped in part by a culture that teaches us to measure our worth by what we accomplish, to equate goodness with effort, and to feel most at home when we're busy and striving. Pair this with a hurting world begging for our attention, and then things like rest can feel irresponsible. Asking for help can feel weak. And simply sitting in stillness can sometimes feel unbearable as doubt and worry rise to the surface of our lives. That's why this gap is so important. Whether it's one breath deep or 1 hour deep, this is a moment made sacred by our intentions and our promises. Here, in the place between where we've been and where we dare to dream, our lives are shaped and molded by our spiritual practices of worship, small group sharing, and deep study. Mark Nepo says that when we meet like this, we aren't just being self-reflective, we are strengthening the immune system of humanity. We are strengthening the immune system of humanity. Here is where we remember who we are and to whom we belong. Here is where we practice love as a response to the love that first summoned us.
Still seating. Let's take this moment to sit in this gap, to acknowledge who we are what we feel, where we are, and we think about what comes after later. We're gonna sing a song that is gonna be new for most of you, and it is very short. You're gonna learn very quickly. So just listen once. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to heartache. Listen to grief. Be still and breathe. This moment, I want you to focus more on your body, your soul, your mind, then focus on singing out loud. Take a deep breath and let's acknowledge together. Let's be still, let's breathe, and then acknowledge the heartbreak that we deal with on a daily basis and the grief. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to heartache, listen to grief. Be still and breathe. While heartache and grief might be true for you right now, or yesterday, or a week ago, gladness is also true. I'm so glad to be here with you guys today. Joy is also true. So let's also acknowledge those feelings and let them coexist with all the heaviness that we feel in the current moment of our lives. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to gladness, listen to joy. Be still and breathe. Let's sing this one more time. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to gladness, listen to joy. Be still and breathe. As we turn on the news, as we walk around and talk to different people, sometimes we experience some anger. That's normal. Also some hurt. And those are also valid feelings. We are whole. Doesn't matter what feelings we are dealing with. So let's sing together that we're listening to our anger and to our hurt. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to anger, listen to hurt. Be still and breathe. I want to sing this verse one more time, but I want to challenge you to sing this as inward as you can do. Very intimate. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to anger, listen to hurt. Be still and breathe. In our next little verse, we're gonna acknowledge beauty and grace, that it is always present. At least it should be present, right? So my challenge for you right now is to smile. Even though I cannot see your smiles right now because of the masks, I am challenging you to sing this smiling and expressing this beauty and this grace. Bring this to this environment now. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to beauty, listen to grace. Be still and breathe. Let's sing this one more time. Be still and breathe. Be still
Listen to beauty, listen to grace. Be still and be.
And ending this moment of breathing and stillness and reflection. If you have somebody sitting by you, or here in our studio, or at home, or in the satellite places, I want you to look to your side, look to the other side, find somebody, find a connection. And we are going to sing together that we're going to listen to you and listen to me. And I want you to sing this to somebody else, not to yourself right now. That's our moments that in sitting with our feelings, sitting with our reality, we are also connecting with other people and sharing that and drawing strength from one another. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to you, listen to me. Be still and breathe. One more time. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Listen to you, listen to me. Be still and breathe. One more time. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to you, listen to me. Be still and breathe. Now, as we end this moment of breathing, we're gonna sing one last time. Voices only. We don't need instruments for that. And I want you to hear one another, or here, or at home, or in the satellite. And we are singing that we are listening to you and listening to me. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to you, listen to me. Be still and breathe.
There was an extraordinary Cambodian monk named Mahagasananda who survived the brutality of the Khmer Rouge regime. Later, he served in the refugee camps, and in one of those camps, he opened a Buddhist temple, despite threats from the authorities that anyone who attended would be killed. Still, on opening day, more than 20,000 people gathered. These were people who had lost nearly everything: families shattered by war, communities terrorized by violence, people who had suffered beyond what most of us can even imagine. And there, in that dusty square, Mahagasananda led them in a timeless Buddhist teaching. Hatred never ceases by hatred. By love only is hatred healed. This is the ancient and eternal law. Thousands and thousands of people began chanting those words together, not because love is sentimental, not because love is easy, but because they understood that only love could build a future worth living in. After the 2024 General Assembly, I came home and told some of my interfaith colleagues that 80% of the Unitarian Universalist delegates had voted to declare love as the center of our faith. One of them, who's a good friend of mine, kind of sighed and said, "You know, love is very abstract. It means 100 different things, and it means nothing at all. And, religion has been preaching and teaching love for the last 2,000 years, but look at the way we treat each other. I know what they mean. I've heard that before from Unitarian Universalists, too. Love has become a cliche, a greeting card, a slogan, a marketing campaign, a word stretched so thin that it can barely hold any weight at all. Even when Dr. King invoked love, they called it emotional bosh, weak, sentimental, passive. And some of us have learned to distrust the word entirely because the word love has been used to excuse harm, to silence truth, to avoid accountability, and to demand submission. But without an ethic of love, human beings start treating each other as objects, as obstacles and problems to be dealt with. A people organized around fear will produce punishment. A people organized around greed will produce trillionaires. But a people disciplined by love can begin to repair the world. This is why the poet calls us into the gap, one breath deep, before sending us out into the world. In this space, we remember our religious inheritance, a treasure carried by our Universalist ancestors who claimed that God's love was so complete that no one would ever be outside of this love, no matter what. And our Unitarian ancestors who admired Jesus as a fully realized human being, showing us that our capacity for love is far greater than we can imagine. So, what do we mean by love when we dare to place it at the center of our faith? There are so many kinds of love in our lives. Romantic love can be beautiful. Love for friends and family can be deep and fulfilling. Love, as we speak of it in our congregations and in our practice communities, though, is a little bit different because that love that we practice in those communities does not require fondness, affection, or any positive feelings at all. As the psychiatrist M. Scott Peck wrote, love is not a vague sentiment, but an intention and a discipline. He says, it is the willingness to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Sometimes that can look grand and heroic. Just as often, it looks like that couple who drives an elder member to church, even though it's out of the way and it's not so easy to coordinate, and sometimes it conflicts with other things they want to do. It looks like two people fighting as they're organizing an event and resisting the urge to turn away, willing to sit in discomfort long enough to speak honestly and to find their way toward new understanding. It looks like taking the time to get to know a stranger in need, learning their story, and welcoming them into the community as a full participant rather than an object of charity. It looks like making a personal promise to talk with one new person during coffee hour instead of huddling with their best friends. It looks like forgiving someone who hurt you because the burden on your own heart has become too great to carry. Love is so much more than what we feel. It is a discipline we choose freely and willingly for the sake of another's growth and well-being, including our own. My friends, I know that love is a word that carries many, many different meanings. Its power can feel fragile in the face of the forces gathered against us. At times, we may even doubt that love will prevail. Still, I am profoundly grateful to the Unitarian Universalist that we have not given up on love.
I am looking for shelter and a friend. We can build a beginning, but I do not know the end. I am scared of breaking when I bend. We will carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way. There are prayers I don't know how to say, but I still find solace when I close my eyes to pray. What I've lost and what I hope can stay. We will carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way.
Hello, this is the Reverend Tania Marquez. I'm a Mexican woman in my late 40s with curly hair. I am wearing a red dress with a black sweater. I have anatomically shaped heart earrings, and there are some blue curtains in my background. Let us pray. Holy One, compassionate One, hold us tenderly. Hear the clamors of your children, the wailing of mothers, fathers, parents, siblings. So much has been taken. Too many nights of anguish and worry. Too many days of uncertainty. We bring our sorrows, our pain, our fears, and lay them before you. Creator, breathe into them the breath of life and transform them. Breathe into us and guide our hearts. We, all apprentices of love, reaching out to find each other, to hold each other. May we be granted clarity and understanding to carve the path before us, to go on determined and strengthened, our voices rising, creating new songs, songs that build new worlds, that reminds us of truths about who we are, about how we belong to one another.
river and I'm living through the drought. I have firm conviction and my heart is full of doubt. We will carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage when the journey's only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way. There are people I have never met. There is something special when I haven't found it yet. There's abundance given freely, taken with no debt. We will carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage when the journey's only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way.
Oh, divine love, shape us, turn us into vessels of your essence, embodied love, loving in all directions, embodied love, tending, holding, expanding, rising. Amen. Ashe.
My courage is your courage when the journey's only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage when the journey's only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way. We will carry each other on the way. We will carry each other on the way.
I'm Perry Montrose, the Director of Faith Formation at All Souls Unitarian Universalist Congregation in New London, Connecticut. I use he, him pronouns, and I am a 5'11", thin white male with short dark blonde hair and green eyes. I'm wearing a coral sports coat.
And I am Barbara Montrose. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a 5'7" cisgender woman with shoulder-length blonde hair colored by Miss Clairol. I'm wearing a tan dress and a scarf with a little orange in it for a pop of color.
I'm Nora Montrose. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a 4'4", 10-year-old girl with curly blonde hair, green eyes, and a pink dress.
My father of blessed memory drank his morning coffee out of a mug with a quote that said, "There is only one happiness in life, to love and be loved." For my father, that love included carrying each other on the way with an open, welcoming home where everyone was invited to stay for a meal and longer if they needed a place to stay, regardless of nationality, race, or ethnicity. Yet, although my father believed in equality and welcoming everyone, he struggled when Blackness entered his own family. He never really made those family members feel that they belonged or that their full identities were valued. To love and be loved can be made complicated by our human frailties and contradictions. Love is moving from simply welcoming to an embrace of belonging.
We're learning what that means in our Unitarian Universalist family as we continue to draw the circle wider. Imagine walking through the front doors of a new church, a new beginning. Everyone is welcoming you, but you don't feel like you fit in. This is how many people feel, and it is our job to help them feel included and like they belong. To do that, we need to hear who they are and what their needs are. We are learning to listen to voices that have not always been heard, but sometimes we need our hearing aids.
We also need to listen to our own inner voice. I work in homeless services. We were discussing the cuts happening and the threat of losing funding because of our use of words like diversity and equity. I felt fear and panic sink in. Then I remembered the people I serve. I love them so much. And just noticing that love that I have in me created a shift. I realized that no matter what an administration takes away or how it oppresses, it cannot take away my ability to love people. I felt emboldened, defiant to the fear and panic, because I knew no matter what happens, I can love people. I choose love.
To reflect on love further and hear more voices, we asked the congregants of All Souls New London to respond in words and art to the question, what is love and what does it look like?
Hi, my name is Karen, and this is my answer to the question, what is love and what does it look like? I think there's a creative energy at the center of everything. Life yearning for life, interconnecting each piece of existence, and in humans, that energy feels like love. So life generates life in the garlic bulb sold by the organic farmer at the Saturday market. That gathering feels like a celebration and reunion, even when I'm a stranger there. And the garlic tastes like earth and passion, and I use it to feed the ones I love. The garlic cloves, the farmer market joy, and chickadee chirps give us courage to gather in protest against the January 6th insurrection, trusting that doing the right thing will engender more of the right thing. And we bolster each other with our presence at home, in the market, at church, and in the public square. Love is the force that gives us courage to stand with each other. It is at the core of every piece of existence. It is in every brushstroke as I paint and pray in the doctor's waiting room. Love is the creative energy at the center of it all.
Love is an emotion, but that is a very broad term. Love is watching your sibling take a chocolate bar from its hiding place, knowing mom was saving it and not saying a word. Love is seeing that person, that special one, and lighting up, no matter what mood you're in. Love is choosing to take a nice long bath instead of a quick shower and just soaking the stress out. Love is inviting a friend and catching up over worries, interests, and finding comfort in the fact that you're together.
I'm Dallas, and to me, love comes in many forms, including familial, communicational, romantic, and even the small acts of openness between strangers. But it is always rooted in the balance of pain, beauty, and strength. It can be fragile because it asks us to be open and vulnerable, yet strong because it prevails through that vulnerability and helps people stay connected through difficult times. Love is never perfect, but its imperfections are what makes it real and meaningful. Love shows up in simple actions such as the courage to forgive and the act of listening and the choice to stay connected even when it's hard. Sometimes love is shown through big moments, but often found in everyday care and understanding. Love holds us together and reminds us that despite our differences, we need one another and share that acceptance.
Love is caring about someone or something, even though you don't have to, because this someone or something could bring a lot of joy. Without love, people wouldn't care about anyone or anything, and society wouldn't get anywhere if you don't care about anything. If they didn't care about their house, those are all forms of love, and if everyone didn't care about anything, I mean, they would have like no motivation to do anything, and where would society be at? Just kind of hanging around, kind of dying off. No one would care about anything, you know? In the drawing I drew, there's a hole in the heart, but inside of the heart is somebody caring for someone. That's what love is.
Hello, we are John and Linda Sargent. Attention and observation are an aspect of love, opening our minds and hearts and drawing as close as we can to knowing another being's world. We make room for their essence in our awareness. After hours in his kayak watching, John's hands, brushes, and paints have given us a moment with the common terms. During the summer of repeated visits to our bird gathering place, he was awed by the ease of the terns' acrobatic flight. In this painting, the open grace of their wings speaks to me of the sometimes overlooked but essential receptive aspect of love, which is the single word title he gave to this painting.
I think love is when someone is affectionate to you, which can be showed in a lot of different ways. You might not always see it when you argue with your mom or if you have a disagreement with your friend. There's love everywhere. Even if you don't feel it or see it, it's like when your mom argues with you. She's only doing that because she cares about you and doesn't want you to get hurt from a boy or dying here, all to keep you safe. Another way of love is from your friends when they invite you somewhere or even just coming to talk to you every day. Just little gestures every day is love. Especially there's a lot of love in you. Might not feel it, but every day you do something to show affection, like walking your dog, making coffee in the morning for your mom. You will always find love in yourself and around you. Like brushing your hair is self-love. Cleaning the house is both. If you live alone or if you live with your loved one or just cleaning the house for your parents, the littlest things count. But my picture is someone holding hands, which shows love from your friends or loved ones. Just remember, love is all around you, even if you don't realize it.
Hi, my name is Adrian Dow. I'm a relatively new congregant here. The artwork that you're looking at is a piece gifted to me by my yoga teacher, Kim Abraham, who is one of the nicest people and kindest souls I've ever met. And love to me is kind of exemplified by people like her. When she first met me, she didn't know who I am, but she had never met me before, of course, didn't know my name, and invited me to her yoga class and said that after a while, she told me that when she first met me, she'd recognize me right away. And I felt seen and heard in a way that I've only felt a couple other times. And those are people that will be in my life forever, like my co-parent and my best friends. And I mean, it's the sort of love that you would only expect from a parent or a member of your family. And I truly feel that the people of New London are a found family, and that is how I appreciate and have learned to appreciate love in the world is through them. And that's it.
My name is Nora. When the world is at its last string, that string is a magic harp string. Love is a bonding connection, and without it, no one can survive. Family, friends, and communities depend on each other, and they depend on the things that hold them together. That thing is love. Flowers cannot bloom without the sun, and we cannot bloom without love. Love is our umbrella in the rain. Love is not always something we see, but something you can feel. Before babies can even say the word love, they know it and feel it. When you fall, it is love that catches you. Love is the everlasting light in the dark. We may have all come from different values and beliefs, but in the end, we all find the way to love.
In a community that embraces many spiritual perspectives and seeks to draw the circle wider, love is our common language. It allows us to speak of the mystery we cannot name, the goodness of life that exceeds us, and the sacred ties that bind us each to all. As Nora said, flowers cannot bloom without the sun, and we cannot bloom without love. When you fall, love is what catches you. Love is the everlasting light in the dark. So, are you ready to be disciples of love? All right. Now, I know that talking about discipleship may feel unfamiliar in a Unitarian Universalist setting. We have seen how easily discipleship can be distorted when it becomes a cult of personality rather than a liberating path. For some people, the word disciple carries painful associations: control, hierarchy, the surrender of one's own spiritual authority. But the discipline and the discipleship that I'm talking about and inviting us all into is all about studying love. It's about practicing love. And it's about moving in the world having been formed by love. Every path of formation can reorder a life and give it a new center of gravity, because every discipline asks something of us. To be a disciple of love is to allow ourselves to be reshaped and stretched, often beyond what is comfortable, especially when we are called to love our enemy. Or, in UU words, to affirm the inherent worth and dignity of all, even of those who would use their power to deny that dignity to others. Discipleship is not easy, and yet following the way of love is what keeps us from being consumed by the very forces that we are trying to resist. Without a discipline of love, our activism will burn out. Our longing for justice can become untethered from mercy, and we risk becoming spiritually starved. I know what that feels like. When I returned to parish ministry after years in healthcare chaplaincy, I was so swept up in the busyness of the congregation and the urgency of meeting this moment that I nearly forgot the very practices that made such work possible. My physical health suffered. My mental health suffered. And this is why the ancestors, in their wisdom, call us into the gap, call us into moments of spiritual practice. Before we fill our bags with scented guava and bandages and rush out into the world, those ancestors call us to first gather in places like this, where grief is never denied, where joy is welcomed with abandon, a place where people return to the practices that shape them, where disciples study love carefully, practice it imperfectly, and when they fail, begin again, begin again. The world is weary of performative righteousness. Instead, this hurting world needs people who can remain human in inhumane times. It needs people who can tell the truth without surrendering to cruelty, who can resist despair without pretending everything is going to be okay. So, my friends, the world is calling us to the corner. So gather up your things, take one another's hands, and let's go together as disciples of love.
I invite you into a moment of complexity. While we do not have the permission to change the words of this song, which are rooted in historical works, we invite you, wherever you are, to engage with more inclusive language while tenderly holding the history, intent, and message of these words.
We walk in love, united in purpose, with joy our hands and lift up one voice. We speak the truth with strength and compassion, resounding with hope, with courage and joy. Before we move forward to the other verses, I want to invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing with us. We cry for peace and rights for our people. We welcome friends from far and from near. We fight for those whose voices are silenced, resisting in faith until all are free. We dream a world of justice and kindness. We build a bridge, creating new path. We march with joy as all walk together, embracing each one. We boldly stand.
Hello, I'm Nicole Presley, Director of Organizing Strategy with Side with Love at the UUA. And over the past year, I've heard many people in coalitions I'm a part of ask, where are the faith leaders? This question comes from real concern. So much of the suffering we are witnessing So many of the attacks on our democracy and human dignity are being carried out in the name of faith. And then I will sit in an entirely different coalition space, and I'll hear people talk about the ways that faith is showing up powerfully in this moment. They point to clergy kneeling on a cold pavement to protest ICE abductions. They point to UU leaders traveling to Selma after voters in the South were stripped of political power and representation. But what is often missing from both of these conversations is what we look to as evidence to prove faith is showing up and the work it takes to make those moments possible. Sometimes we can all forget the infrastructure that builds and sustains our justice movements. The training centers, the conversations, the spiritual anchors, the places that teach strategy, build relationships, and nurture resilience. Places like our congregations and this faith community. Movements do not emerge out of nowhere. They are built by communities that develop leaders and hold them through some of the hardest struggles of our time. Sometimes that work shows up in public witness and gets widely shared in photographs or on the news, and sometimes it is much quieter. Sometimes it is a workshop in a small room teaching people how to keep their neighbors safe. Sometimes it is a Zoom room sharing tools on voter mobilization. Sometimes it is the embrace offered after a climate disaster that reminds someone that they are not alone and that the community always provides. That is what Side with Love does. We build the capacity for faithful and strategic action that can change our world because it changes us and it changes everyone we encounter. We do this through the UU Solidarity Initiative, a nationally coordinated effort bringing together UU organizations and other networks to support immigrant communities under attack. Together, we organize UUs to call Congress members every 3 minutes for 10 straight days to oppose expanded ICE funding. We submitted thousands of public comments supporting asylum seekers' right to work and trained congregations to provide Know Your Rights education for local businesses. We do this through Create Climate Justice. While climate change is a global crisis, its impacts are felt locally. Alongside our congregations, we have fought unfair utility rate increases, advocated for safe and healthy housing, and we're working to develop hubs of climate resilience so that everyone in our communities can be safer and more prepared in the face of climate disruption. We do this through You, the Vote, registering voters, creating safety at the polls, and mobilizing thousands of voters in their elections. And with our Solidarity Summits, which are training and equipping people of faith across the country to organize more deeply, to build stronger relationships and partnerships, and strengthen the infrastructure we need to sustain the people that make up our movements. And we do this through The Gathering, a monthly event that offers spiritual grounding and political education that reminds people of the truth, that you are not what this regime says you are, that trans people are divine, that disabled people are whole and holy, that indigenous peoples who stewarded this land long before it was called the United States are still here, that Black lives, Arab lives, immigrant lives, and many more, none of these lives are disposable, that their bombs will not erase us, their policies do not define us, and their hatred will never win. Love wins again and again. That is the work of Side with Love. Not to just believe, not to just proclaim it, but to make it so in our policy, in our congregations, and in our larger world. That is what your generosity makes possible. When you give to Side with Love, you are not simply supporting a program, you are building a powerful ministry that is investing in leadership, relationships, and the resilience that movements need to survive and to win. Thank you for your faithful work, and thank you for your generosity.
So, and Betsy's turning the music down on this a little bit. This is the offering. You are welcome to scan the QR code if you would like to donate. Side with Love is a very important public-facing organization for Unitarian Universalist justice work in the world. But we are also now, and thank you ushers for rolling with me, going to pass the baskets, knowing that the work of this congregation also is vital and continues through your time, talent, and treasure here in the Roanoke Valley. Thank you, everyone.
And now we'll extinguish our chalice. As those of you joining from Zoom extinguish your chalices, together we are writing a story that will be told by tomorrow's Unitarian Universalists. May that story tell how we met a fearful and dangerous moment with open hearts reaching out to one another across every dividing line. May this be ever so. Go in peace, my friends. Go in love.
Sorry. I can't see if it's us yet. Are they? We can. so I can see it. Can you turn that screen there?
Hi. I'm the Reverend Kimberly Quinn Johnson. I am one of your co-moderators. I have brown skin, black and white hair, and I am wearing a black and white dress. I am joining you from Bridgehampton, New York, on the east end of Long Island. I am here with my congregation and our crackpot, I hope that's a good term, tech crew. We have been worshiping with you this morning at our meeting house. We know that many of you are doing the same from your own congregational homes. It has been good to be together today in this worship and all week for this General Assembly.
And I'm Bill Young, your other co-moderator, and I'm joining you from Louisville. I am an older white man who uses he, him pronouns. I have gray hair, glasses, and a red and white checkered shirt. As our time together comes to a close, we give thanks for this gathering, for the worship, the learning, the conversations, the decisions, and the community we have shared. May we carry forward the spirit of this gathering as we continue the work of love, justice, and community in the places where we live and where we serve.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your participation, your care for one another, and your commitment to our shared faith. May the connections, learnings, and inspiration of this gathering continue to strengthen our work together. We no longer require a motion or a second or a vote to adjourn.
So, with gratitude and hope, we now call for the official adjournment of the Assembly in 2026. Thank you.
You know what? I heard that joy is an act of resistance. Can I say that again? Joy is an act of resistance. So we're going to have a little bit of joy. Wherever you are, I want you to rise in body or spirit as we sing, "This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me." And guess what? The world can't take it away. Can I get an amen, somebody? All right, let's do this, y'all. Ooh, this joy that I have, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, this joy that I, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This strength that I have, this strength that I have, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it,
Are we okay? Hey, everybody who's still here. Thanks for still being here, coffee hour folks and folks. I know it was a long one. Thank you, everyone, and no one's blaming you for leaving, but we have a couple of announcements that I wanted to make sure some people knew about. Jeff, you're still here, right? Jeff Vick's still here. We have heard through Jeff and the Kiwanis that Ram House, Roanoke Area Ministries, has a really huge opportunity. They are moving this week. They are moving. They need help, like people to come and help. There are windows for volunteers starting Thursday the 25th to Sunday the 28th between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're going to be organizing at Ram House at 10 a.m. Jeff is still here, and I know he sent an email out to a bunch of people as well. If you can help or want some more information or know someone who might be able to help, please get with Jeff so that we can, they are a huge, important institution in our community. And so if anybody can help even a little bit hands-on, that would be great. The stewardship team wants to remind you that it's almost the end of the fiscal year. June 30th is the end of the fiscal year, so get those pledges in. And I think there was one other announcement I wanted to make sure we actually talked to. Oh, there are, if you missed the presentation from the architects this morning, our Capitol building team will be holding meetings on Tuesday evening and Friday afternoon, right, Celeste? And they are still at the back. So come in, I don't know the times off the top of my head, but check in with Celeste. If you would like to come again or have questions or want to bring a friend who wasn't able to be here to hear about the plans for the future of the building, Tuesday and Friday are your opportunities. That's it. We're going to have Lifelines email on Tuesday. We'll have them if you wrote one, and they'll be shared from the pulpit next week. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. Thank you, Avi.